What has changed has not just changed for the UK, but pretty much for every car company on the planet. I mean, we used to sort of always look to Toyota and say, well, if you're as efficient in production as they are, you'll be fine. Or if you're as good as others in product development, or if you're fine in distribution, you'll be succeeding. But actually, as the prolonged recession has shown, is that operational efficiency is important, but it's necessary but not sufficient. So what we see now is that the ability to command appropriate resources, such as, for example, labor costs that are competitive, as we've seen in the US, is equally important as also rallying support from key stakeholders, such as the government and the capital markets. It's not just the operational efficiency, it also matters at what cost and at what quality you can procure key resources, such as labor, such as supply, such as capital. And that has huge implications, because we used to look at simply car production, but really it's also important how you sell them. And if you need access to cheap capital to sell and finance leasing, for example, then that matters as much as the efficient factory or cheap labor costs. So it's all, these are all pieces to the same puzzle, pretty much. It's a bit simplistic to say that the BRIC economies are doing well and Western Europe or the Western markets are stagnating. The latter is actually true. We've seen a growth of 1% or 0% in some cases. On the long-term trend, and of course the recession has pretty much taken a quarter out of the market during those years. But the BRIC economies aren't as stable as people would love them to be, and of course competition is equally present there. So it's not as if this is sort of a free-for-all in those markets. What we do know is that any durable goods purchase is strongly dependent on consumer confidence. So employment rate, or unemployment rates, I should say, interest rates will keep having a detrimental effect on people's willingness to buy cars. So for as long as that uncertainty persists, we'll also see depressed volumes. Electric cars are not the panacea that the industry would like us to believe. It really depends. If you live in central London and electric cars have benefits for you in terms of parking and congestion charges, that's fine. But if you take it on the energy source to propulsion level, right, well to wheel as we call it, if you look at it at that level, electric cars actually neither make economical nor environmental sense at the current rate or the current carbon intensity at which we produce electricity. That's the key problem.